You never know quite what you're going to find out on the roads these days, as evidenced in June of 2024, when officers from the Crawford County Sheriff's Office in Missouri reported that they had pulled over a rather unusual vehicle. Metallic silver in colour, and with a lift-up, dome-shaped cockpit, the bizarre contraption was in fact built to look like an alien spaceship. Not only that, but it seemed as though someone had gone to a great deal of trouble to design and construct the thing. It was actually quite impressive. Fortunately, officers saw the funny side and even stopped to pose for pictures. It turned out that the out-of-this-world vehicle was headed to a UFO festival in Roswell, New Mexico. On the department's Facebook page, the officers noted that these friendly humanoids had come in peace. They also went on to add that the vehicle's occupants had assured them that they would take care of any issues concerning the spacecraft's registration plate and would keep within the warp speed limit while driving along the interstate. Welcome to Quite Mysterious. I'm TK Randall, and in this episode I'll be looking at 5 weird things caught on camera by police officers. In March of 2016, the Roselle Police Department in Illinois reported on the very strange case of a vehicle that police had apprehended because it happened to have a 15-foot tree embedded in the front radiator grille. A short chase had ensued, with the driver of the vehicle continuing along the road, despite the fact that the entire front of the car had been wrecked by the impact with the tree and the airbags had all deployed. There was also very little chance that she was actually able to see where she was going. What you are seeing now is the actual police footage from the incident. Fortunately, officers were eventually able to bring her car to a standstill. Unsurprisingly, it turned out that the driver had been under the influence of copious quantities of alcohol and was subsequently arrested for drink driving. When asked what she had been doing, she told officers that she had been aware that she had collided with the tree, but couldn't remember when and where the accident had taken place. The police department was quick to use the incident to remind people not to drink and drive. On February 15th of this year, police in western France were called out to attend the scene of a rather peculiar accident. It involved a camper van that had crashed on a road near to the city of Saint-Malo. But it wasn't the fact that it had crashed which made this particular incident so strange. It was the manner in which it had done so, with the vehicle somehow tipped upside down, with its front resting on the ground and its rear end suspended high up on some overhead cables. According to local reports, eyewitnesses had stated that the driver and 2 other people, who were believed to be uninjured, had left the scene after the accident had happened. Police officers who attended the scene were left perplexed by the strange position of the camper van, and it remains unclear exactly how it had ended up like that. When a tow truck arrived to move the vehicle, the driver was quoted as saying that he had never seen anything like it in his 22-year career. It's not particularly unusual to find old car parts, rusted bicycles, old boxes and other junk stuffed away at the back of someone's garage. To find a nuclear missile, on the other hand, is a different story altogether. When a man in Bellevue, Washington, offered to donate an inert nuclear missile to a military museum in Ohio back in February 2024, the first thing the museum did was call the police. When officers arrived at the donor's home, they discovered that there really was an old rusted nuclear missile in the man's garage, though fortunately it was missing its nuclear warhead. The bomb squad was even called to the property to ensure that there was no danger to the public. According to a blog post on the Bellevue Police Department's website, the donor of the missile had actually acquired it from his deceased neighbour, who had bought it at an estate sale. The department wrote, "Bomb squad members inspected the object and then learned that it was in fact a Douglas AIR-2 Genie, previous designation MB-1, an unguided air-to-air rocket that is designed to carry a 1.5 kiloton W-25 nuclear warhead. There was no warhead attached. Because the item was inert and the military did not request it back, police left the item with the neighbor to be restored for display in a museum. According to reports, the donor himself was said to be extremely irritated by all the media coverage that his donation had received. Back in June of 2017, a motorcycle officer pulled over a vehicle that had been speeding on Georgia State Route 400 around halfway between Alpharetta and Roswell. When the officer walked over to the side of the vehicle, however, he was surprised to discover that there was a life-size extraterrestrial entity sitting in the passenger seat. News of the bizarre encounter soon hit the press when Alpharetta's Department of Public Safety posted photographs up on social media. "The things you see during everyday patrol," they wrote. According to the report, the officer who had pulled the vehicle over ended up issuing the driver with a speeding ticket, but hadn't really bothered to ask why he was cruising along the road with an alien in the passenger seat. In the end, though, the alien's road trip companion did agree to let the officer take some photographs. Ultimately, the fact that the vehicle had been intercepted near Roswell might offer a clue as to the purpose of the extraterrestrial passenger. And while it didn't get the driver out of a speeding ticket, at least the alien was wearing his seatbelt. That's all from me for this episode. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell icon to be notified when we upload new videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.